Wrigley Field. The offense remained hot as the Cubs belted out 3 homers. And frustrated St. Louis skipper Tony La Russa, while the Northsiders cruised to a 5-0 win. Today, Tom Gorzelani's on the hill, and he's also been hot lately, winning his last 3 starts. It's the Cubs hosting the Cardinals next. Well, most of the Chicago area pretty waterlogged after some heavy storms overnight, but we will start on time. We're set for Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, one of the great rivalries in all of sports. The Cardinals and Cubs, Game 2 of a 3-game weekend series. Hi again, everyone. Along with Bob Brenly, I'm Len Casper. It's been a good homestand. Cubs 5-3. They shut them out yesterday, 5-0, and really, I guess we could have stopped after the first inning. Tyler Colvin hit the game-winning homer. Well,
if we'd have known Randy Wells was going to shut down the Cardinals' offense the way he did, we could have quit after the first at-bat. Tyler Colvin filling that leadoff spot admirably, does his Alfonso Soriano impersonation with a leadoff home run in the ballgame. I'll tell you, Tyler Colvin and Starlin Castro, for that matter, I feel as their careers progress, they'll find their way down toward the middle of the lineup in more of a run-producing spot. But for this ball club, they fit well at the top of the order.
And of all the numbers, I think the best one is they're tied for the team lead, each with 6 game-winning RBIs. Well, we'll see how Tom Gorzelani fares against the Cardinals offense that has now been shut out in back-to-back games.
Well, and you know the Cardinals offense is going to bounce back at some point, but if Tom Gorzelani can spot his pitches and change speeds the way he's done over his last 3 starts, he should have a pretty good chance against this Cardinals lineup.
Right-hander Blake Hawksworth, a bit of an unknown. The Cubs have seen him only in relief. This will be his first start against the Northsiders.
And you can see he has some issues with the base on balls. Hopefully the offense will be patient and give him some opportunities to pitch himself into trouble, which he did in his last start.
Cubs come in 10 back in the division, a half game behind Milwaukee for third. The Cubs hosting the Cardinals from Wrigley Field. Game 2 is next.
Today, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Member-owned means our reason for being is your well-being. Experience wellness everywhere. AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Southwest Airlines. Visit southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on.
First 10,000 fans through the turnstiles got a Cubs car flag. I think it's good they got them today, not yesterday, or they might have blown away all the storms last night. 4.5 inches of rain dropped on Wrigley Field overnight and this morning, but Roger Baird and the fine grounds crew getting this field ready for baseball right on time today. You're watching the Cubs and the Cardinals on Comcast Sportsnet, presented by Allstate. Now the St. Louis Cardinals Southwest starting lineup. Back-to-back shutouts for them offensively for the first time in 15 years. Former Cub Aaron Miles is going to lead off. Originally was ninth in the lineup, but Felipe Lopez scratched. Jay, Pujols, Holiday. Ryan Ludwig off the DL, missed 23 games with a calf injury. Molina catching. Ryan at short, the pitcher hitting eighth, and Tyler Green getting the late nod to play third.
And Lou Piniella and the Cubs going with the if it ain't broke, don't fix it theory. Soriano, Bird, and Colvin once again across the outfield. Ramirez and Castro on the left side of the infield. Terrio and Lee on the right side. Giovanni Soto behind the plate for left-hander Tom Gorzolani. And he's been very good his last three. A victory over the Diamondbacks, the Dodgers, and a win against the Phillies his last time out.
Crew chief is Tim Cheetah, Minnesota native, who now makes his home in Wisconsin. Bob Davidson, who'll work the plate tomorrow night. Angel Campos and Alfonso Marquez around the bases. Corner man in against veteran utility man Aaron Miles. Good numbers against Tom Gorzolani. He's in there today and looks at a strike, and we're underway. Miles saw the last pitch of game one. Took a called third strike as a pinch hitter in the ninth. As the Cubs completed a 5-0 win. This is Gorzolani's first outing against St. Louis in 2 years. And his 0-2 to Miles, hit on the ground. Starlin Castro ranging to his left. 1 out.
And one of the things we do every day is check the matchup numbers for the opposing team against the Cubs pitcher that particular day. You mentioned Aaron Miles with pretty decent numbers against Gorzolani, a .467 average coming into play today. And the other guy you're concerned about, and it doesn't really matter who the starting pitcher is, Albert Pujols has had some good success against Tom Gorzolani.
John Jay in there for Colby Rasmus. We saw Jay yesterday in right with Ryan Ludwig. Back off the DL is playing right. And a called strike. I like Tim Cheetah's strike call. Double fist. Speaking of fists, it was in on his hands and he muscled it over Aramis Ramirez. He's hustling to second base and he's going to get in. That's a bloop double for John Jay.
That's one of those base hits as a pitcher you just have to disregard. He made his pitch, a fastball up and in on the hands of John Jay. He just muscled it out there over the head of Aramis Ramirez into no man's land. By the time Castro was able to run it down, Jay in at second with a bloop double.
Albert Pujols 0 for 4 in the opener, including 3 flyouts to right. The kick and the pitch to Albert is high, ball 1. A little bit of a late arriving crowd, and we see a lot of red in the audience. And the theory here is that all the Cardinal fans who were coming to the game, they got here with no trouble, but a lot of the Cub fans dealing with flooding and traffic, I'm sure, backed up around the ballpark. We probably won't see many, if any, empty seats here in a little while, but it was a rough morning on the commute, especially for a Saturday.
Not from Lincoln Park.
That is true. Well, the Cardinal fans from their hotel or wherever they're staying, they didn't have any trouble getting to the park today, but the Cub fans did. 3-0 on Albert. With Matt Holliday on deck.
Giovanni Soto warning Tom Gorzolani that Pujols obviously has the green light to swing away here 3-0. Don't just toss him a lollipop. Make it a good strike if you're even going to go after him at all.
And that missed ball 4. Well, the Cardinals threatening to break a 20-inning shutout streak. Look at what they've done or not done over the last 2 days against the Phillies in 11 on Thursday, and Randy Wells and Sean Marshall handcuffed them yesterday. They had the longest active streak of not being shut out in back-to-back games going back to September of '95, but that ended yesterday. And an inside corner fastball for a strike on Matt Holliday. Ground ball to third. Ramirez, Terrio, Lee, double play. And the Cardinal first is over. That's 21 straight innings without a run. Cubs are coming up when we come back. Giovanni Soto trying to extend a home run streak to 4 today. Terrio will play second, and Gorzolani hits 9.
Take a look at the Cardinals defense today. Holliday in left, Jay in center. Ludwig recently off the DL. He'll be playing right field today. Green, Ryan, Miles, and Pujols across the infield. Yadier Molina behind the plate today after a day off yesterday, and he'll be receiving pitches from right-hander Blake Hawksworth.
I thought that was the Chicago River. I realized it was a puddle out on Waveland.
Are there any fish in that puddle?
1 ball, no strikes on Colvin. The game-winning home run in the bottom of the first, his first career leadoff blast. Swing and a miss on a changeup.
You see a lot of those from Blake Hawksworth. He's basically a fastball changeup pitcher. He'll show an occasional curveball, an occasional cutter, but everything works off the tailing, sinking fastball and the straight changeup.
Inside again. A 27-year-old righty, 6'3", 195, born in North Vancouver, British Columbia. At the high school in Washington State.
Tyler Colvin jump-starting the Cubs offense yesterday. First at bat of the game for the Cubs. Got a fastball out over the plate and hooked it back to right field. Love those early leads.
See a sliver of blue skies and occasionally the sun peeking out, but the lights are on with the overcast conditions. And when I got here around 9 o'clock today, I would have said it would be an upset if we start on time. And thankfully the rain stopped shortly thereafter, and here we go. Already in the bottom of the first. He's run it full, 3-2. Another rookie, Castro, on deck. He's had a blistering homestand, 16 hits. Ground ball foul past first.
Boy, regardless of how this at bat ends for Tyler Colvin, he's really getting a good look at everything Blake Hawksworth has to offer here in his first at bat of the game. Should serve him well in subsequent at bats.
Ball high in the air. Well hit deep to left center. Jay running out of another leadoff homer for Tyler Colvin. Using the wind to his advantage again. And it's 1-0.
Tyler Colvin takes a pitch that's down and in and golfs it out of here to left field. Nice approach that time. Very still. No stride whatsoever with his two-strike approach, and got it halfway up the bleachers in left center field.
For his 15th of the year. I'd say it was a pretty good at bat. 0-2 to Castro.
It got better right at the end.
You know, for Hawksworth, that's the 9th home run he's allowed in under 60 innings. Miles catches that soft liner.
Well, if you can't get it over Aaron Miles' head at second base, it wasn't meant to be a hit because he's only about 3'4".
One strike to D. Lee. Aaron Miles listed at 5'8", 180. 0-2. Six-game hitting streak for Derek. Off the end of the bat, just guides it out into right on an 0-2 offering. And a 7-gamer.
Take a look at Derek Lee's streak extending base hit from our Coors Light RoboCam. Just poked it out there into right field. That's a nice two-strike approach. You don't necessarily want to drive the ball to the gaps unless the pitcher makes a mistake. You just want to put it in play with some authority, and that time Derek found grass in right field.
Ramirez hits it hard, but that should be 2. And it is 6-4-3. They get Hawksworth out of the first, but Tyler Colvin doing his Alfonso Soriano impersonation. Second consecutive leadoff home run for Tyler. The Cubs lead 1-0. Phillies beat the Rockies. Mark Burley played last night. First career win at Oakland. Completed it. Kelly Johnson with a cycle versus San Francisco. We had a dugout fracas in Seattle. Sean Figgins removed from the game after a perceived lack of hustle defensively, and all kinds of players and coaches in between Figgins and Don Wakamatsu. Josh Beckett coming off the DL in that game for Boston got a no decision, 5 2/3, 1 run, first start in 2 months due to the back injury. And Ryan Ludwig back on the active roster and in the Cardinal lineup. They need a jolt offensively. They've not scored since Wednesday. 3-game injury rehab assignment at AAA Memphis. 2 homers, a double, 5 knocked in. And he loves Wrigley Field. Swing and a miss. Lefty Gorzolani with a 1-2. That's inside on a fastball. You might see Sean Marshall if needed late today, but he did go 2 innings yesterday. And talking to Lou before the game, he said it's not as big a deal with a lefty starter. So they were able to stretch out the reliever Marshall a little bit to finish off St. Louis in game 1. Pretty good chance we'll see Cashner and Marmol today at some point as Ludwig comes back and coaxes a leadoff walk.
Hey, Cub fans, come to StubHub night tomorrow at Wrigley Field. Watch the Cubs battle the Cardinals at 7:05. The first 20,000 fans will receive a Cubs t-shirt, compliments of StubHub, official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of Cubs.com.
Catcher Yadier Molina, first action of the series. Jason LaRue caught yesterday. Tom Gorzolani has won all 3 starts in the month of July. The one thing he would like to be better at is not walking people. Over those 3 starts, all wins, 12 walks, and he's already walked 2 today. And Molina lifts deep to left center. Marlon Byrd will leap, make the catch right at the wall. So Molina just missed in a bid for a 2-run homer. We don't see a lot of leaping catches right at the wall in this ballpark because of the overhang of the basket.
It looked like Molina hit that ball pretty good off the bat, but it didn't carry as much as I think everybody in the ballpark thought it was going to, and Byrd able to go back against the vines and make a nice leaping catch. Now, off the bat, I thought that ball was ticketed for the seats out there in left center, but stayed in the yard.
Now the struggling Brendan Ryan coming in at 186. I saw a guy stretching in the outfield before the game, and I didn't recognize number 13. I thought that should be Brendan Ryan, but I didn't see those old school stirrups with the horizontal stripes. He usually has the pant bottoms hiked just below his knees, and I'm guessing he's just doing whatever he can to change up the mojo.
Now, when you're hitting 186, you'll try anything. Ryan, normally a guy, as you said, that wears those pants right underneath his kneecap, showing the stripes on the top of the Cardinals' red socks, but no socks to be seen today.
Looking for his first hit against a lefty in his last 32 at-bats. Felipe Lopez originally was in their lineup as a leadoff man with Aaron Miles hitting 9th. And about 20 minutes before game time, Tony made a change. Tyler Green inserted into the 9 spot at third base, and Miles moved up to the leadoff spot. No injury apparently, and Lopez, as far as we know, is available. Tony just changed his mind.
Well, that's been known to happen repeatedly throughout Tony La Russa's managerial career. It's not unusual for him to pull the plug on a guy, change his lineup right before game time.
The 3-1 on the way, and that's hammered foul. Well, I mentioned the late arriving crowd. This park has filled up very quickly as we play the second inning. Seeing a lot more Cubs blue. That's good to see. I was going to ask you how your basement is, but you don't have one here in Chicago.
Nope.
That's a good thing on a weekend like this.
Oh, yeah. And all the furniture was still on the patio this morning when I woke up. That's always a concern when we have the storms like we can get here in Chicago.
That is deep to left. Soriano back on. It's going to be over his head. Just below the basket. Ludwig to third. It's a double for Ryan. So they have teed off on Tom Gorzelani. Fortunately got an out. And Molina fly to deep left center, but Ryan smoked this one to left. His first hit off the lefty in quite some time.
Yeah, unlike Molina's ball, I didn't think that one had a chance to get out of here. It was hit so low on a line, and Soriano played the carom off the wall perfectly. If that throw had initially gone right to second base, they may have had a chance to hold Ryan to a single or maybe throw him out at second. It was hit that hard.
Well, pitcher hitting 8. So the infield able to come in against Hawksworth, and he took a healthy hack and fouled it off. Oh for 11 as a big leaguer with 7 strikeouts. 0-2. Rain really cooled things off. The hottest day of the year yesterday. Started today at 78 degrees and overcast. Hawksworth stays alive. Swing and a miss on a fastball. A big strikeout for Gorzelani. Now everybody moves back with 2 outs. And Tyler Green coming up. Green 0 for 2 with a walk and a steal yesterday as he played short. Inside corner strike.
Throw that 90-mile-an-hour fastball up there at the top of the strike zone to a hitter. That one looks like it's about 95. You could see Green actually kind of raising up on his toes trying to get on top of that fastball, but was well tardy on the swing.
And a base hit to right. Ludwig in. Ryan on his way. He will get in. So Tyler Green finally ends the Cardinals' scoring drought and gives them a 2-1 lead.
You see Soto wants the ball up. It's on the outer third of the plate and in the strike zone. Just a horrible 0-2 pitch. Green able to punch it into right field for a base hit, and Jose Oquendo, the third base coach, waving Brendan Ryan around, and he scores without a play at home plate.
Also, Green able to move into scoring position as Colvin's throw went to Soto. 1 ball, no strikes to Aaron Miles. Reds got within a half game. They won last night with St. Louis losing here. So the Cardinal lead in the division right now, just a half game. But both the Cardinals and the Reds are in a fairly good position to make the playoffs. With the schedules they have over the final couple of months, it's very possible the wild card could come out of the NL Central. Reds are a half game out of the wild card. Backhanded by Castro. He better hurry. And he got him. So throw to the plate didn't matter, fortunately, as they got Miles at first base to end the inning on a bang-bang play. That saved a run. Tony coming out is going to argue with Bob Davidson. But it doesn't matter. Cardinals do get the lead on the 2-run single by Green. Very close at first. Cubs got the call. They trail 2-1.
If they're blue, he was easily out. If you have red eyes, he was safe. About as close as a play could be. His foot just coming down on the bag as the ball was just entering Derek Lee's glove.
Bird grounds out to Miles as we start the Cubs second. This angle makes it look like Miles barely beat it, but we had to look at a couple and actually stop it. I'm sure every umpire wishes he had a remote control. He could hit pause.
Yeah. Take another look at it. Well, we have the technology.
Even DVR. Alfonso Soriano looks at strike one.
I think Tony La Russa's argument to Bob Davidson was, well, if he was out, why did Derek Lee throw the ball home? Well, Derek Lee's not sure how that call is going to go at first base. He knew it was very close. You cannot assume anything. As long as that ball's still in play and guys are still running the bases, you have to continue to play the game.
A 1-1 to Soriano. Bottom of the zone, 1-2. I want to welcome the Armed Forces Network and the men and women serving our country at home and abroad watching today. Special shout out to those serving in Vicenza, Italy. Glad to have you with us. Barely missed. 2-2. Swing and the miss. That was an interesting non-verbal exchange between pitcher and catcher. Kind of looked like Molina's like, well, what do you think? Should we do it? Okay. And it worked.
Yeah. I'll tell you, when you work with the same pitcher for a long time or work with the same catcher, a lot of times these little, just little motions, a little head nod to the inside. Hawksworth gave him a little, no, I don't want to go in there. So they went away with a change up and got the strike three. You read those subtle body movements. You don't have to say a word. You don't have to gesture outwardly where everybody in the ballpark can see it. It's just a little nod of the head or move your glove one way or the other.
He's one of the best. Yadier Molina, two-time Gold Glover. Excellent arm. Comes from a catching family. Benji, Jose, and Yadier, all big leaguers. And Giovanni Soto working on a 3-game homer streak. To make it 4 as he missed 3 and 2. Land Rover high performance on the homestand. Gio with 5 homers, 9 knocked in, slugging over 960. Ball 4. Keep it alive for Ryan Theriot.
Boy, the numbers you really like during that streak. 7 runs scored, 9 runs driven in. I mean, that's the bottom line. Get yourself on the plate or get your teammates on the plate. That's how you win ball games. The home runs are nice. The high batting average is nice, but it's all about scoring runs and winning ball games.
Good couple of days here for Ryan lately. 5 hits. Wednesday and Friday combined. But still has some work to do on his season numbers. I would call it a pretty soft 279 batting average. His on base 315. He's only slugging 311. Well, picking up a lot of hits, but the vast majority have been singles. For Hawksworth, he made 120 minor league starts. This is just his 7th in the majors. '51 career relief appearances. And the kick in the 2-1 called strike 2. Only have the double fist, but he lifts his right leg. Tim Cheetah.
Yeah, it looks like a dance move.
Outside, it's full 3-2 with 2 down. Ivan De Jesus telling Giovanni Soto, make sure he goes to the plate, and then you take off. There goes Soto as Theriot fouls it away.
And Albert Pujols is not going to make it easy for Giovanni Soto to get a jump over there at first base. That time he came in from his position deep behind the runner and pounded his glove and kicked the dirt and let Gio know, I'm right behind you. So Soto couldn't get as big a jump as perhaps he would have.
Down the right field line, just foul by less than a foot.
There's too much side English on that slicing line drive. It looked like it was going to be a fair ball down into the corner, and just a matter of inches on the wrong side of the foul line that time.
A reminder, there's still time to get great seats, including bleachers, for Cubs games this summer. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Call 1-800-THE-CUBS or visit the Wrigley Field box office. Looks like it's turning into a very typical late July afternoon here in Chicago. Wind blowing out, temperatures heating up. Soto runs again. Theriot breaks his bat. Got a chance to get there on a barehanded play. Nicely done by Brendan Ryan to get Ryan Theriot, and that ends the inning. After 2, Cardinals 2, Cubs 1. third inning here at Wrigley Field. Great to have with us our good friend from MLB.com who covers the Cubs beat, Carrie Muscat. Bob, everything good on the dial?
Sorry, all of a sudden it came out really loud.
Oh, it did.
Carrie grabbing her ears there. I figured we had the volume turned up a little too loud.
Carrie, great to see you as always, and you have a brand new Chicago Cubs cookbook in your hands.
Yeah. What I just can't believe we got this done as quick as we did, because we started. Ted Lilly and Corey Miller, the bullpen catcher, came up to me in spring training and asked if I could help them put this together for Dempster's Foundation. They wanted to do something for their teammate. They wanted to give back somehow. And I said, sure, we'll get it done. I just didn't realize they wanted it done this year. They wanted it done like right now. So it was a rush job, but the guys were great. And it just turned out so much better than I thought. The folks at Triumph Books and the photographer, I mean, you're not going to see these kind of photos anywhere else.
So you compiled and edited the book and talked to a lot of different people.
Yeah.
You asked me for a recipe, and I said, you know what, I'm going to call my mom.
Good move.
Which was a good move.
Yes, good move.
Any interesting recipes that you're going to try from the Cubs cookbook?
Actually, I've tested quite a few. And I had a chef that tested some of the others. We made Coy Hill's pork stew, which was excellent. I would recommend not using as many chilies as I did because I was up most of the night with that one. Mike Quaddy has an excellent pecan-crusted fish recipe that's just delicious. Quaddy's a great fisherman. And then Steve Trout has a very good trout recipe that turned out. The chef that tested them, just real quick for the chef that tested them made Micah Hoffbauer's brownies and ate like 3/4 of the pan on the first testing. So those obviously are pretty good too.
And again, all the money goes to a great cause as well. The Ryan and Jenny Dempster Foundation. I did not hear a final tally. As Colvin makes a catch on the warning track, but I know they raised a lot of money at the House of Blues the other night. And as you said, Ryan's teammates, they want to help out as much as they can. I think this is a great way to do it.
Well, it's just very rare. I mean, Ted is already donating money for every strikeout and every win that he has. But for teammates to actually want to do something and give back like this, I think is really, really kind of unique. And what was really fun for me was that every time I'd go to a restaurant or I'd go to a player and I'd tell them what we were doing this for, the answer was yes right away. There was no hesitation from anybody. And I heard they raised like more than $400,000 from that. And they're still tabulating.
Yeah,
so
getting close to $500,000 raised, and it says a lot about the event and Ryan as well. And you can get this book at Cubs.com, here at Wrigley Field, at Jewel and Meyer food stores, as well as Barnes & Noble and Borders. So it's all over the Chicago area.
Yeah, the Jewel people were nice enough. They're going to have them on display. What I like is if you're at a bookstore and you can't, as he flies out to center, if you can't see it, you know, we've got it on the back, on the binding. You'll see it on the shelf. So I think it'll be really, really well received.
Carrie, always a pleasure to see you, and hope the book does well.
Thanks. I have to go back to my other job.
Tom Gorzolani 1 for 2 with a run in his last outing, so has tied his career high with 4 hits on the season. 4 for 23 with 2 knocked in. 2 balls, no strikes. Thanks to Kerry Muscat for joining us, and make sure you check out the Cubs Cookbook in support of the Dempster Foundation. 2-1.
My recipe didn't make the book.
What was your recipe?
It was the phone number for delicious deliveries.
There are some restaurant recipes in the book with Cub players featured on those pages, so you'll make the next one.
I'll tell you, if nothing else, it's worth it for the pictures in that book. You see players very much out of their normal routine and what you're used to seeing them with the game face on. A lot of smiles, a lot of laughing.
That guy has a lot of fun when he's not on the mound. Ryan Dempster. He and all of his teammates on Wednesday night had the very nice tuxes on, the white jackets, black pants, and they had a little fun with the shoes. Some guys had some stylish tennis shoes on. And Ryan was walking around with a cameraman interviewing his teammates. It was fun. 2-0 the count on Colvin, who led off the Cubs first with a home run for the 2nd straight day. There's a changeup. 2-1.
You know, Len, you think about the 2 home runs that Colvin has hit the last 2 days. He took a pitch that was away from him and pulled it to right field for a home run. And today he took a pitch that was down and in and inside out at it the opposite way. That really has to mess up an advanced scouting report. I think most teams, as Tyler Colvin has gotten more and more at bats, try to pitch him inside to keep him from extending his arms. But then he's able to put a nice, quick inside-out swing on that pitch and hit it to the opposite field. That's going to mess up your scouting report.
Outside, it's full 3-2.
Well, we'll call that leadoff home run today by Tyler Colvin a birthday present for Tony Bellissimo, who's celebrating his 80th here at the ballpark today.
One hit hard by Colvin. Let's see, Tyler Colvin in the book. Molly's Chicken Broccoli Casserole. Sounds good. Page 44. Inside, he walked him. Second walk issued by Hawksworth. Chicago sports fans know there's only one place to go for the best local sports news and highlights. That's Sports Night every night at 6:30, 10, 10:30, and midnight. For breaking news, highlights, and exclusive interviews with the athletes you care about, tune in to Sports Night every night at 6:30, 10, 10:30, and midnight right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Was talking with Tom Hoover from the Comcast Sportsnet crew yesterday. He and his wife were down at the lake, and Bob, I got in my car and I was driving on Lakeshore Drive, and it read 97, 98. It said the lake temperature is 57. Deep for Castro, a 2-run homer. The rookies continue to come up with big hits. He's going to knock in not only himself, but Colvin in front of him. And a 3-2 Cubs lead. That's Starling's first career homer here at Wrigley Field.
Well, Well, it's certainly not going to be his last. The young man's got some power. He's got a little bit of lift in his swing, and with the conditions the way they've been here during this homestand, I'm actually surprised he hasn't hit more home runs, but the very first here at the friendly confines for Starlin Castro.
Well, the Cubs' record has improved lately, due in no small part to the home runs they have hit. That's 30 now in the month of July, most in the National League. Actually, yeah, they were tied for second in the majors. Toronto leading with 29. So right now the Cubs actually leading the majors in July homers as Derek Lee smacks it into center. He's 2 for 2.
Derek Lee hitting .249 coming into play today. It may not sound like much for a guy who's put together the offensive seasons that Derek Lee has, but he's got his average up over .250 after a miserably slow start to the season and continuing to climb.
One strike on Aramis. So Colvin and Castro with go-ahead RBIs in this one. And they're tied for the team lead with 6 game-winning runs knocked in. Two to Ramirez. Away 1-2. One other game going on right now. Yankees 2, Royals nothing. They're in the top of the third. Royals 2, Yankees nothing. Yankee fans waiting on A-Rod. Sitting at 599 career homers. He's 0 for 1 today, batting cleanup. Cue shot. Kicks foul.
It's a little harder to get excited about A-Rod's assault on 600 home runs knowing what we know now, but obviously a historic number for any home run hitter.
That break for the Royals. Thumb injury for David DeJesus, probably out for the rest of the year.
And that was a name that was being bandied about in trade rumors as possible deadline help for somebody needing an outfielder that could hit and run.
Yankees will wear black armbands for the rest of the year in honor of the late Ralph Houck, former Yankee player and manager. Passed away Wednesday at age 90. It's been a rough time for the Yankees family. Bob Shepard, George Steinbrenner, and Ralph Houck all passing away recently. Lee running on the 3-2 that's popped up by Ramirez. These pop-ups were a problem for the Cardinals yesterday. The Pujols puts it away and foul ground, 2 away in the inning. Didn't mention this yesterday, but Milt Thompson, the Phillies hitting coach, was fired a couple of days ago, and former Cub Greg Gross has taken over with the Phillies. Not the first time he's been their hitting coach.
I mean, unless there's something going on there in Philly that we don't know about, that's just an eyewash move. That's just a move by an organization to placate their fans. An underachieving Phillies team this year. Milt Thompson, to the best of my knowledge, hasn't changed his philosophy of hitting over the last couple of years when the Phillies played in the World Series. And their offense was one of the best in the league.
Ludwig chasing after it, going to be over his head, and the Cubs should get another run. D. Lee's going to be sent by Mike Quaddy. Relay throw by Miles. Not in time. Lee scores standing. Marlon Byrd with an RBI double.
'28th double of the year for Marlon Byrd. Boy, a horrible line on this ball by Ryan Ludwig. Immediately went straight to his left and then had to do the banana route back to the wall to pick that ball up. Derek Lee coming all the way around to score from first base.
Already 28 doubles for Marlon Byrd.
A lot of the doubles have been just like the one we saw, either a ball down the left or right field line or hitting the gap, but a number of those doubles are hustle doubles. What appeared to be a routine single, and he just refused to stop at first base and hustled them into a double.
Well, we have a moment. Bob and I would like to thank many people for the swinging away with Len Bob sweepstakes. We had a chance to play out at Bowes Creek in Elgin on Thursday. Mike Lehman, the golf pro there, and his entire staff took great care of us. We played with Jason and Woody Perry, two excellent golfers, and we want to thank them for putting up with us for the afternoon. Andrew Luthane, our sponsor from the Chicago District Golf Association, and everybody at Comcast Sportsnet sales and marketing staff, especially Brad West and Tom Harriet, for putting it all together. Great time.
Boy, that's a nice golf course out there in Elgin. If you get in the neighborhood, we would highly recommend it.
Bowes Creek opened last year. And make sure you hit it in the fairway.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of water, a lot of sand. One to Soriano, just missed the outside corner. Three-run third, giving the Cubs a 4-2 advantage. Hawksworth only in the third inning. And already 65 pitches. Ludwig will make the play to end the inning. Castro gives the Cubs their second lead with a two-run homer, his first career Wrigley blast. Later, Marlon Byrd with an RBI double, and it's 4-2 Cubs.
Our thanks to the Menards grounds crew. They've had a busy late night and early morning, but the field is in absolutely perfect condition. Maybe a little sloppy around the warning track areas in a couple of spots, but the playing field itself absolutely ideal for this day game here at Wrigley.
And they probably did their most work actually on the warning track all the way around the field. I don't even want to think about how much work Roger Baird and his crew would have had to do with the old surface, a non-modern playing surface. And it's a lot easier for them now as it goes 3-1 to get Ryan Ludwig.
You know, in an odd kind of way, Len, I mean, we all love the new surface. The players all seem to really like it a lot, but I think you lose a little bit of your home field advantage. The old crown that they used to have here at Wrigley was really an adjustment for teams coming in here, especially the first game of the series. You would usually see at least one runner stumble rounding first base because you go down the line. You went downhill a little bit and then back uphill to round the bag at first, and inevitably guys would go down on their face rounding first base in the first game of a series.
No problem for Soriano, so Molina out. Time for AT&T Trivia. The subject, new Hall of Famer Andre Dawson, who will become the second Hall of Famer to have at least 300 steals and 400 home runs. Can you name the other player? So it's the second Hall of Famer, not second player. First name that comes to mind would be Barry Bonds, but he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Nope.
Brendan Ryan with a double and scored a run in the second. Off the outside corner. Excellent matchup tomorrow night to finish up the series in homestand. Chris Carpenter and Ryan Dempster, they've combined for 19 wins on the year. Cubs grabbing sole possession of the quality starts lead in the majors yesterday with Randy Wells' performance, 61 on the year. Cardinals was 60. And that will remain the same. He cannot get a quality start from Hawksworth today, but Tom Gorzolani still has a chance. Second straight 7-inning no-run performance for Randy Wells. And a very special win for him against his hometown Cardinals. Saying, look at these pipes. Yeah. Bird will make the catch and leap at the end. That ball had a little carry on it. Ryan with two pretty good swings today. The double his first time, lines out to center. A 9-pitch inning for Gorzolani. 4-2 Cubs. 38 steals, 660 homers. 8-time All-Star, 8 times won a Gold Glove. Very classy guy. I'm sure he'll give a great speech tomorrow at Cooperstown. And the Cardinals are going to retire the number 24 in honor of Whitey Herzog next weekend. That announcement made by their chairman, Bill DeWitt. Pre-game ceremonies on July 31st. And it will be the 11th uniform number retired by the Cardinals. Two and one on Soto. That's a strike. 2-2. Roy Oswalt starting tonight. Chance to tie for the all-time Astros franchise lead in wins. He'll face Johnny Cueto, Reds and Astros in Houston, and possibly could be Oswalt's final start in a Houston uniform. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Hey, fans, sign up for a subscription to Vineline, the official monthly magazine of the Chicago Cubs. Vineline offers exclusive insider coverage and photography all year long. Visit the Vineline blog at Cubs.com for extra content and order today.
Terrio turned away from the curve that didn't break a whole lot. Mets manager Jerry Manuel getting some public support from his boss, general manager Omar Minaya. Well, that's been a roller coaster ride this year. Manuel was in trouble, then they got hot and he was fine. Now apparently in trouble again after a slow start to the second half. Sounds like the Marlins might be in a buy instead of sell mode as they won their 3rd straight last night. They beat the first place Braves, hanging around the wild card race at 500. This is the most interesting time of any baseball season. Who's in, who's out, who's buying, who's selling.
And not easy decisions to make. It's not always clear cut whether you're a buyer or a seller. You could have a first half like the Cubs did, which is very disappointing, and you would assume, well, they're going to be sellers. They're going to unload some of those contracts, and then you get yourself on a little bit of a roll. Your offense picks it up a little. Your pitching continues to be good, and now you start wondering, well, should we be sellers? And a lot of clubs find themselves in a similar situation.
Terrio with the walk. Gorzolani showing bunt. Hawksworth fires to first, and it's a balk.
Guess who called that?
You did. Vonda Jesus did. First base umpire Bob Davidson did.
We used to lovingly refer to him as Balkin' Bob Davidson. He called more balks than any umpire in the major leagues. Now, no question about it. Hawksworth, what they call, he broke his front leg. And you can't do that and then step off the rubber and throw to first.
Your first movement has to be with that back leg. Wafted into shallow center, long run in, and Jay will get there. So Hawksworth with his 3rd balk of the season. The other interesting story this week that is a little delicate, but we've talked about it before. Carl Crawford hit by a pickoff throw on Tuesday in the area we generally don't want to specifically mention, but it really, really hurts to get hit there. And he does not wear a protective cup.
No.
And even after the incident said that he does not plan on wearing one. According to a St. Petersburg Times article, a writer asked around, and not everybody on the Rays roster wears one. The catchers and most of the infielders, it said most of the infielders do. Most outfielders don't. And it seemed as though it came down to one thing: comfort. Was it Adrian Beltre?
Yeah.
Who hasn't worn one?
How good was Carl Crawford? How comfortable was he when that ball struck him in that undesirable area?
I think his answer was, if it happens to me once every 8 years, I could live with it.
I'm wearing a protective cup right now.
TMI. TMI.
I swear. I mean, it just, I don't know how a player could step on the field and not wear one. But that's what makes it a great game.
Well, I'm assuming the Rays clubhouse is not that much different than any other. And Crawford wasn't the only guy. I can't imagine a pitcher wouldn't. But again, if it's uncomfortable, if it affects your delivery, I guess you take that chance. It's too big a risk in my book.
I agree.
Although according to you, players, if you're a catcher, you should wear a protective cup on your toe.
Absolutely.
Do you think that's the worst spot to get hit? Third 3-2 for Colvin today. Swings and misses this time. And strands Terrio at second. Cubs lead 4-2 after 4.
Footlong to 53695. If you're the 500th texter, you could win $5 footlong subs from Subway.
We get into the fifth on what has turned out to be a sunny afternoon. Cubs Destinations, a preferred baseball road trip provider of the team, provides fans with the most unique VIP road trip experience available. Each package includes great tickets, first-class hotel accommodations, a tour of the ballpark, and a private meet and greet with a current Cubs player. For more information, visit Cubs.com. Eight, 9, and 1 for St. Louis, starting with the pitcher Hawksworth. He struck out. With 2 in scoring position in the second inning, he would be picked up by the guy behind him, Tyler Green. He notched a 2-run single. That gave the Cardinals a short-lived 2-1 lead. Half swing, and it cost him strike 2. little bit low. Zolani looking for his 4th win in his last 4 starts. Called strike 3. 2 strikeouts. They've both been against the pitcher. Tyler Green. One career win for Zolani against the Cardinals against 3 losses. And Ramirez can't pick it on the bare hand. A hard bunt by Green.
Ramirez may have had enough time to glove that ball. It was bunted so hard down that third baseline. Green caught it right off the barrel of the bat. Even though Ramirez was playing back, it looked like he may have had enough time to glove and make the exchange and throw on in time for the out, but chooses to go to the bare hand and can't come up with a clean one.
Bunt single for Green. He's 2 for 2. Aaron Miles 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice to short.
Well, there was a time about 30 years ago, if I'd have told you this, Len, you wouldn't have believed it. That's only the 2nd bunt hit for the Cardinals this season. John Jay has the other one. There was a time when that was what the Cardinals offense was all about. Bunt hits, infield hits, stolen bases.
Yeah, Willie McGee, Johnny Smith, you're right.
Vince Coleman. And as far as infield hits go, you might be surprised to find out that Matt Holliday leads this Cardinals offense with 8 infield hits this season.
Miles with a fly ball to right. Coleman got turned around, going to be over his head. The wind started to carry it. And Miles is going to put on the brakes and head back to first with a long single.
There must be a lot more wind out there than we think. We saw Ryan Ludwig misplay a ball earlier in the game. You saw Aaron Miles thought that was just a routine fly ball to right. He started jogging out of the batter's box, and it just continued to carry over the head of Tyler Colvin. From our Coors Light RoboCam, you see Miles hit the brakes. He had thoughts about going for 2, but thought better of it and had to go back into first on his belly.
And that's a base running gaffe by Miles, who should have been on second base. See if the Cubs can take advantage with the double play in order. And John Jay to deep left. Soriano late break, and he will get back to make the catch. It'll be a sac fly for Jay as Green scores, and it's 4-3.
Another one that nearly shot over the head of a Cubs outfielder. You mentioned Soriano got a little bit of a late break, but he's able to make a nice recovery and get back to the warning track to corral that sac fly.
Interesting how this inning has worked. Miles, with the base running mistake, actually could help the Cardinals for this reason. He's standing at second base. I don't think Gorzelani pitches to Pujols. He might not anyway. Ball 1. That would be a dubious explanation at best if Aaron Miles went back to the dugout and said, Skip, I knew Pujols was going to come up. I didn't want first base to be open.
You know, it seems funny we're talking about this because the answer to our trivia question, Willie Mays back in his playing days when Willie McCovey used to hit behind him in the lineup, Mays stayed at first base, he says, many times on possible doubles because he knew if he went to second, the opposing team was just going to walk Willie McCovey and take the bat out of his hand. So Mays said on a number of occasions he stayed at first base to force the other team to pitch to McCovey. I don't think that's a legitimate excuse for Aaron Miles in this situation, but it has happened before.
up in the air off the bat of Pujols. And Marlon Byrd waving his arms, making the catch. A frustrating series for Mr. Pujols without a hit to this point. The Cardinals do draw it within one. It's 4-3 now. Starlin Castro gave the Cubs the lead for the second time today with a 2-run homer in the third inning, his first career Wrigley Field home run. It's now 4-3. As Hawksworth coming in on a 1-0. Now 2 balls, no strikes. Blake Hawksworth signed as a drafted follow 2002, 28th round pick at Bellevue Community College in Washington back in 01. Cardinals minor league pitcher of the year in 2006. 3-0 on the way, a strike. Signed Starlin Castro for $50 grand back in 06 out of the Dominican Republic. Barehanded play by Ryan, the throw late. That's a hit for Castro. Give him 18 hits here in the second half.
Castro showing all the aspects of his game here today, going deep with the 2-run homer back in the third, and this time legging out an infield hit. Boy, he can get down that line, especially when he's sniffing a base hit.
Now 9 out of 18 against the Cardinals this season. First pitch strike to Derek Lee, who has a couple of singles and has scored a run. Inside, 1-1. Right-hander Mitchell Boggs just started to get loose. Home changeup.
Yeah, that time a home run swing from Derek Lee. Might have been looking for an off-speed pitch in the 1-1 count. He got the changeup, but just a little bit out in front. Well, that's the thing about a straight changeup and what makes it such an effective pitch. Even when you're looking for it, you have a tendency to be out in front. You see that pitcher's arm speed, you see his delivery, you see the rotation on the baseball coming out of his hand. Everything about it tells you fastball. So even if you tell yourself, I'm going to wait back, I'm going to get that changeup, everything about the delivery tells you to swing soon.
Ludwig again got a bad break, but was able to recover and make the catch. I think that wind playing a lot of tricks with the outfielders. Check in on the Cubs minor league report. Congrats to lefty J.R. Mathis. Set a new Iowa franchise record with his 39th career win. Moved past Dave Schwartzbaugh. Top spot on the franchise list. They're a game and a half up in the Northern Division of the Pacific Coast League. Brandon Geyer, 10-game hitting streak at Double-A. Robinson Chirinos, the Player of the Week in the Southern League. Michael Brenly starting a new hit streak, and he's reached base in 22 in a row. How do you say the right-hander's name, Bob? Dae-Un Ri?
Dae-Un Ri. That's his third really good start in a row for the D-Cubs.
Rolled up the middle. Castro will have to stop at second. Ramirez is on. Matt Caesar with Boise with a 15-game hitting streak. And first baseman Richard Jones, the Northwest League Player of the Week. Tony La Russa coming out. He's going to make a change. It will be Boggs. Hawksworth threw a lot of pitches today, over 90, and could not get through 5 innings. Cubs lead 4-3. Try to add on. It's the Lexus pursuing perfection. Call to the pen.
Play. It came back in the second inning. Yadier Molina making a bid for extra bases, and Marlon Byrd with a fine leaping catch up against the vines to take a base hit away.
Here's righty Mitchell Boggs. He's inherited 18 runners. 5 have scored. He comes in with 2 on and 1 out. And ball 1 on a fastball to Marlon Byrd. Six-year-old righty. Same spot, same pitch, 2-0.
Boggs a lot more of a sinker ball pitcher than Hawksworth, and with runners at first and second and one out in the inning here, Tony La Russa pulls the plug on his starter in the hopes of getting a ground ball here from Marlon Byrd and trying to get the Cardinals out of this inning.
Didn't bite on another sinker. 3-0.
We didn't talk about it yesterday, Len, because Yadier Molina was not in the starting lineup for the Cardinals. But anytime Yadier Molina is behind the plate, you have to be on your toes as a base runner. He loves to throw to the bases, bail his pitcher out of a jam. 2 pickoffs this season.
They are loaded up. Alfonso Soriano.
Well, this could be a really good matchup for Fonzie. A real good fastball hitter. He likes the ball down in the zone. Boggs throwing that mid-90s power sinker down around the knees.
Hit by Castro to start the inning. Lee lined out the right. Ramirez singled into left center, and then Byrd against the new pitcher Boggs took a walk. Pitchers today trying to avoid fly balls with a wind blowing straight out here at Wrigley. 2-0. Good take.
Good discipline for Soriano. You know he wants to swing the bat with the bases loaded and a chance to tack on a few more runs right here, but plays off a couple of borderline sinkers to put himself in a really good hitter's count. 2-0.
There it comes. Squirts away. Castro trying to score. He gets in. The throw gets away. Here comes Ramirez. He will score standing. 6-3.
First look, that looks like it has to be a pass ball on Molina. The ball was not in the dirt. I'm not sure if that was a cross-up or not, but a really funny effort to go after that ball from a normally very reliable defensive catcher. Well, it's been called a wild pitch, and then an error on Molina as his throw back to the plate to Boggs got away, allowing Ramirez to score.
Runner at third, 3-0. Now 3-1. Good aggressive base running by Castro. And forced Molina to throw to the plate. It was wide. Ramirez came around. Byrd went first to third.
Slide into Boggs at home plate really disrupted the play. The error will go to Molina because his toss was offline to the plate, but I'm not so sure Boggs could have gotten it anyway the way Castro slid into him and flipped him at home plate.
Swing and a miss for the second out, but again during that at bat 2 runs scored. Castro getting work done.
Yeah, just some more merit badges. But for everyday players who are on base a lot and are very active defensively, it's not unusual to leave spring training with strawberries on your knees and elbows and finish the season in October with strawberries on your knees and elbow. Lots of hard slides, lots of diving attempts on defense.
Right at Miles, and will throw out Soto. So with Chris Kringle look-alike on vacation here in July, the Cubs leading the Cardinals 6-3. At home for everything Cubs. Catch Lou's post-game remarks after every game. Get behind-the-scenes access with in-depth stories, insider blogs, and exclusive video. Visit csnchicago.com, your internet home for everything Cubs. Some tack-on runs, 2 of them, on a wild pitch and an error. And the Cubs lead 6-3. Holiday with a home run swing and a foul tip. Cubs today announcing they have signed their 2nd round pick from this year's draft, Reggie Golden, an outfielder from Wetumpka, Alabama. 18 years old, hit .460 in 27 games. 5'11", 210. Cubs have now signed 24 of their 50 picks from the 2010 draft, including their top 5. Mentioned Matt Caesar out of Villanova. Off to a good start with Boise, outfielder. Whoa, kicked up on Ryan Theriot and into center. That was as routine as it gets before it hit something and rocketed past Theriot for a hit.
Right, Theriot positioned perfectly, shuffled a couple of steps to his right to get in front of that ball, and then it just hit something on that infield and shot up over his left shoulder into center field.
So the Wrigley Field Gremlins helping out the Cardinals, at least on that bouncer. And it's Ryan Ludwig, ball 1. You ever take a bouncer in the face Playing third or first.
I can't say I ever took one in the face. I think I was hitting just about every other body part, but never in the face.
And of course, the punchline is you'd never know it.
Yeah.
Right. Kick the 2-0. That's a strike. 2-1.
You see a lot more of those bad hops when both teams have a lot of base runners in a ball game, because the area between the bases gets a little chewed up as guys are either accelerating or slowing down.
Well, how did that not hit him?
Well, nice save there by Gio. Yeah, those baselines get chewed up a little bit, and that's when you're more likely to see a bad hop. Oh, way down and inside. Gio able just to knock it down, keep it from going to the bricks, and hold Holiday at first base.
Short lead by Holiday. First game back off the DL for Ludwig. Cardinals optioned right-hander P.J. Walters to AAA Memphis, so he was here for 1 day. 2 scoreless innings yesterday. Called foul off to the right. Holiday with that single now has a 10-game hitting streak. And as Cashner and Russell crank it up. Text passes to B-Hawks 242-957 to join Blackhawks Mobile and be entered to win a pair of weekend passes and a 2-night stay at this year's Blackhawks convention at the Hilton Chicago, July 30th through August 1st. That's passes to 242-957 for an all-access pass to see the 2010 Stanley Cup champs. Well, we saw Cashner and Russell. Now it's Justin Berg. Another 3-2. Another foul, this time to the pull side.
If you look ahead to the Cubs' bottom half of the 6th inning, the pitcher spot is due up second. So if you were going to bring in Cashner, a guy that more likely than not you want to get multiple innings out of him, then you would have to make a double switch. So instead of doing that, Lou Piniella has Cashner sit down and gets up right-hander Justin Berg just to get out of this inning if necessary.
Runner goes on the 3-2, but Holiday is trying to head back to first. Is Terry has no idea where it is, and hopefully he'll get an out at second. He will. That was not a deke. I don't think he saw it. But fortunately had time just to be in the area to get the force play on Holiday at second.
Boy, after a very cloudy morning, there's not a cloud in the sky right now. When you see a player palms up backing up on a ball, that's an indication that I have no idea where it is. And Ludwig, he's not sure what's going on. He was going to walk off the field as well. That's a tough play for Matt Holliday or any base runner that's caught in a similar situation. You just try to put yourself into a position where you know you can get back to first if the catch is made, and you hope you can get to second if the ball drops.
Not sure what Ludwig was looking at, but obviously he thought that ball was caught. One and one. Well, if there had been runners at first and second, the infield fly rule probably would have been in effect even if Terrio had trouble finding the ball. And the thought there is, you know, the guys can't really stray too far off the base. You could turn that into a double play pretty easily.
Yeah, and just because an infield fly rule is called, it doesn't mean the ball has to be on the dirt part of the infield. Technically, anytime an infielder can get underneath the ball and turn and face home plate and make the play, that's usually the determining factor whether an infield fly rule is called or not.
And that's first and second or bases loaded. And again, the theory behind it is if you just let a ball drop in that spot, because of where the runners are, more often than not, that would be a routine double play. You don't want to penalize the offense too much for a pop-up.
Speaking of easy double plays, a good man at the plate to turn two. Yadier Molina was grounded into 12 double plays this season. That's second on this Cardinals team. As you might expect, Albert Pujols leads the way with 17 double plays grounded into.
And he struck him out on a foul tip.
The third strikeout in the ball game for Tom Gorzolani. This one a foul tip into the mid of Giovanni Soto on a good fastball at the knees on the outside corner.
Brendan Ryan's been right on Gorzolani. Double off the wall and left, and he lined hard to center his second time up. Cardinals got their winning streak up to 8. Snapped on Thursday, shut out here again yesterday, and trailing 6-3 in game 2 of this series. Pitcher's spot is next. Nobody has jumped into the Cardinal on deck circle. Terrio can't get it on the dive. Ludwig will easily make third. And they'll have a pinch hitter coming up representing the tying run, and it will be Felipe Lopez. Well, it's been a tough year for Brendan Ryan, but he's probably been the best hitter on the Cardinals team today.
Lopez, a switch hitter, much better from the right side of the plate where he's hitting now against Tom Gorzolani. 291 with 4 homers as a right-handed hitter, 258 with 1 homer as a lefty.
Lopez was in the original lineup. Scratched late. 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts yesterday. Had a tough series opener. Ball 1. Got to figure this is Gorzolani's last batter no matter what transpires. He'll either get out of the inning, or if not, we see Berg against Tyler Green. 2-0. Great to have our director Dave Turner back in our production truck today. A little under the weather the other night. Back at 100%. And calling all the shots, all the pictures you see. That's a strike, 2-1. We want to thank Kim Patron for the wonderful dessert pastries delivered to the booth today by her mom, Marilyn, who works here at the ballpark. 3-1. If it were up to me, they'd be gone by now. I had one earlier, and I've been eyeing them ever since.
I was going to have one, but it turned into 4. Really good.
Runner goes on the 3-1, ball 4 to load the bases. Watch Comcast Sportsnet Cubs game replays on demand with Xfinity TV from Comcast. Don't miss the action. Call 1-800-XFINITY today. Rothschild is out. Berg is ready, and now Russell has gotten up yet again. And Gorzolani will get a chance to face Green.
It's a little surprising. Green, obviously a right-handed hitter. Aaron Miles, a switch hitter who is much better as a right-handed hitter.
Gorzolani from the windup, and Green fouls it back to the netting. A foul strike.
And you couple that with the fact that Green already has 2 hits in the game against Tom Gorzolani. I really thought this would be a time to make the switch and bring in the right-hander, but he's showing his faith in Tom Gorzolani here, giving him an opportunity to pitch out of this jam.
Well, that first pitch is huge, especially with the bases loaded. You get ahead in the count. Now you might get a guy to fish a little bit. And that's exactly what Green did on a bad pitch in the dirt. Now it's 0-2. And Cub fans making noise. Good block by Soto.
He chased it once. Try it again. You're right, Len. That strike 1 pitch in an RBI situation. Get ahead of the hitter and then expand the strike zone. Go down below the bottom of the zone, sometimes up above the top of the zone. Certainly go off the corners, and occasionally you can get hitters to chase bad pitches.
Just missed. 2-2. Tried to freeze him with a fastball.
Looked like he just missed at the bottom of the zone right there, but once again missed in his favor. Didn't leave that ball up over the heart of the plate where Green could do some damage.
2-2 pitch, and he's run it full. It's 3-2. I hate to go to a 3-2 count. If you miss here, obviously you're forcing a run, but also at 2 outs. A gapper by Green could tie the game.
And gets those runners in motion with a full count and 2 outs.
Runners go on the 3-2 and a pop-up. And again, this is a little tricky with the wind and the sun. And Terrio puts it away to end the inning. They leave him loaded. Cubs lead 6-3 to the bottom of the 6th. Captain Clutch Award, one voter and player will be selected monthly for an award presentation at Wrigley Field. Voting is simple. Become a fan on Facebook. Submit your pick. One winner will be chosen at random to present the player with the award. Visit CaptainMorganClub.com for all the info. Veteran lefty Dennis Reyes against Ryan Terrio. Xavier Nady's going to hit for Gorzolani. They got out of a bases loaded jam with 2 outs to preserve the 3-run lead at the moment. Terrio showing bunt with everybody back and took it for ball 1. So the Cubs now with a major league leading 62 quality starts. One and 2. A lot of action for Terrio on defense in the top of this inning. It ended well. Not how you start, it's how you finish, right?
That's right. Well, he had a little bit of everything to deal with in that 6th inning. The ground ball that took a bad hop, went over his shoulder into center field. Pop up, lost in the sun. Did end up getting the out at second base when Matt Holliday was caught in no man's land, and then all's well that ends well, able to backpedal and make the catch, bailing Tom Gorzolani out of a jam.
Full count. '75 appearances each of the last 2 years for Reyes. Has been a busy man. Base hit right field.
This is the swing that we've seen so often from Ryan Terrio in his time here with the Cubs. Lead with the hands, let the barrel of the bat drag behind, and line that ball into right field for a base hit. Good start to the inning.
Cubs have gone with a pretty set lineup here in the second half. Xavier Nady is trying to find at bats where he can. 3 for his last 38. Russell up in the bullpen. Looks like he's going to get Miles and Jay. And then depending on how it goes, maybe Albert Pujols. We'll see. Cubs add on a couple of runs here. That makes the decision a lot easier. Roller foul. Corey Miller trying to protect his bullpen catching mate Edgar Tovar, and he almost ran him over trying to play the carom down in the bullpen. The adjective that usually comes to mind when you see Dennis Reyes, the portly left-hander. 6'3", 250. Making his 653rd Major League appearance. He's been really good the last several years, especially as Nady strikes out.
Dennis Reyes reminds me of a T-shirt I saw on the street the other day. Great big letters across the top. It said, "I'm in shape." And small letters underneath it said, "Round is a shape."
Well, it works for him.
Well, like they say, you don't run the ball over the plate, you throw it over the plate. I mean, he's had a very resilient throwing arm throughout his career.
Every at bat for Tyler Colvin has ended on a 3-2 pitch. And they had Terrio picked off. Pujols' throw is in time. Well, Terrio just went on first movement.
Just playing a little bit of a guessing game with Dennis Reyes, hoping that he was going to go home on this particular pitch. You see Terrio took off as soon as that right foot came up off the ground, and an easy out at second base.
Goes 1-3-6. And a swing and a miss on a slider. Reyes signed originally with the Dodgers out of Mexico in 1993 by Mike Brito. Still 2 strikes on Colvin. Cubs starting the day 9 under the 500 mark. They have not yet been over 500 on the season. The Cardinals are 11 over. They have not been under here in 2010. That's why the Cubs are 10 games back. Well, these are like 2-game swings every time you play the first place team. Cubs will either be 9 or 11 back after today.
As we were talking about earlier in the day, Cubs have 10 more head-to-head matchups after today, I believe, with the Cardinals. So if they can continue to play well, they could possibly creep back into this thing.
Well, they started 11 out. They could be anywhere between 8 and 14 back, at least going into this series. Win yesterday, and they have a 6-3 lead here today after 6. Sportsnet, fans' best friend. James Russell will pitch to Aaron Miles here in the 7th inning. And we will have at his disposal Andrew Kashner if needed here in this inning.
Another solid outing by Tom Gorzolani today. A little concerning that he walked 3 batters in the ball game, but fortunately was able to pitch around any damage for the most part. The only walk that really hurt him was the leadoff walk in the 2nd inning to Ryan Ludwig, who later came around to score on the Tyler Green RBI single.
Outside edge for a strike on Miles, who's 1 for 3. Ramirez can't get it. He deflects it to Castro. And it got away from Starlin. And an infield hit for Miles.
You see Castro's upset with himself. Ramirez just got a piece of that ball and slowed it down. Castro still had a play at that point, but the ball hit him in the heel of the glove and popped up into the air, allowing Miles to reach.
Called strike on John Jay. Double, a ground out, a sac fly. Holds his hands pretty low. Quite as low as Alex Rios, but low nonetheless. 1st and 3rd. Albert Pujols representing the tying run with nobody out in the 7th. And we're going to see Kashner as Lou is out of the dugout. Back-to-back singles to start this inning. Cardinals have threatened a lot today as they try to get back into this game. Alexis pursuing perfection, call to the pen. Probably see this matchup a lot over the coming days, weeks, and months. Andrew Kashner against Albert Pujols in a moment.
The Cubs pitching in his 22nd game of the season. Walks have been somewhat of an issue for Cashner as well, but he's been pretty good for the most part for a rookie getting his feet wet here at the big league level for the first time.
Going right into the fire here, first and third, nobody out, and Albert Pujols coming up. Cubs obviously will give the Cardinals a run for a shot at a double play ball. Inside, ball one. Cashner, interestingly enough, got called up for the first time the day after the first series between these two teams. So this is his first matchup with Pujols. And the 1-0 in on his hands at 96 and muscle foul.
That's been the average fastball for Andrew Cashner. Let's take a look at our Haynes comfort zone. Over his last 8 ball games, he has been outstanding, holding the opposition to a 107 batting average. In that stretch, he got his first career win against the Astros back on Tuesday.
Kick the 2-1. 98 to make it 2-2.
That's just power on power. Here's my best fastball. See what you can do with it. A belt high heater at 98.
They go in, and it's full 3-2. Big pitch coming up. Nobody out. First and third. Cashner to Pujols. Way out in front. How can you be that out in front of a 99-mile-an-hour fastball?
He just completely gave up any possibility that Cashner might throw him a changeup or a slider. He was sitting fastball all the way, jumped out in front, saw him take his top hand off, still broke his bat. managed to pull that ball foul over off the facing of the Cubs dugout.
Well, he grounded into 17 double plays on the year. And down the left field line. Foul. Like Albert thought it was foul off the bat, but it ended up being relatively close.
You know, that wind blowing out, even on a line drive like this, it will help keep those balls fair down the lines. But that one clearly foul. Fortunately foul. That time Soto wanted the fastball on the outside corner, but Cashner left it over the inside part of the plate. And as Albert has proved on the last two pitches, he can turn around a fastball. Here comes another one.
Bird now drifting back. Still back on it. He has it up against the wall. It'll be a long sac fly for Pujols as Miles scores to make it 6-4. So you'll take that exchange every day. With a 3-run lead, Marlon Byrds had to go up against the wall, leave his feet twice today.
Another what appeared to be a routine pop-up into shallow right center field. Just got up into that jet stream and continued to carry. Marlon going all the way back into the vines to make another nice catch.
So runner at first, 1 out and a 1-0 count on Holiday. 6-4 Cubs. Jay the runner at first. Holiday couldn't hold. 1-1. Homer rocky and athletic, and he should be a Cardinal for a long time to come. He signed through 2016 as he bounces it foul. You certainly could see the year in which Holiday and Pujols battle for the batting title. Holiday won it in 07. Runner goes, pitches inside, throw by Soto, on the bag to get Jay. 2 down.
Well, a great jump by Jay over there at first base, but Soto made up for it with a perfect throw to Ryan Theriot. 4 attempts on the season for Jay. He's only been successful 1 time.
Cashner will get to work from the windup for the first time in this inning. Inside. Full count.
From our Coors Light RoboCam. Giovanni Soto, who's had a few issues with that ball tailing back to the second base side of the bag, that time put it right on the money.
Ramirez charges. Throws to lead. Kyle Korver leading the stretch.
The ball game is Chicago Bulls forward. Let me hear you because I can't sing. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the ground. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back for its fruit. Root, root for the Cubs. When it's a shame
Cubs. Great to have with us one of the newest members of the Chicago Bulls, sharpshooter Kyle Korver. Kyle, welcome to Chicago.
Thank you very much.
Did a nice hand today. Did a great job with the stretch. Starlin Castro powers one out into left center. Holiday. They have to play that one on the warning track. Starlin, he has a homer, a single, and now a double. As he greets Jason Mott with a hit. The numbers on the right-hander Jason Mott. So, Kyle, tell us about your decision to come here to the Chicago Bulls.
Well, I just felt like it was a really great fit for me. I think shooting is something that they were looking for this offseason. It's something that I like to do. And you got a great young team, a lot of young talent, new coach that I really like. And just felt like it was a really good fit. I'll be back in the Midwest. My family's pretty excited about that. And it's good.
Lee flies out to right. How about playing with Derrick Rose?
Yeah, I played with a great point guard the past couple of years, Darren Williams. I'm trying to get on Derrick's good side quick, And I just talked to him about a week ago, and I think he's being around here and start working out with him soon and try to get a feel for each other. And, hopefully he likes to pass me the ball a little bit.
Yeah, how long does it take guys to get used to where you need to be on the floor, and for a shooter, you like the ball in a certain spot? How long does that take?
I think it varies. It depends on the types of players that you have. A lot of guys, if the guys don't like to pass the ball very much, they're kind of tough to play with. But it seems like it's a very, very unselfish team. Guys play really hard, and I don't think it's going to take that long at all.
1-0 on Aramis Ramirez. Cubs leading by 2. Trying to clinch a winning homestand. They've won 5 of their first 8.
Yeah.
Turned into a very nice day here at the ballpark.
Very nice.
And you had possibly, as Mott fell down and that pitch was up and in, one of the hardest ceremonial first pitches I've ever seen.
I don't know who was catching the pitch, but he was really mad at me, I think, so I threw it hard and low, and he didn't have any gear on. But I told everybody, everyone's trying to give me tips on how to throw this pitch, and you got to aim high, and you don't want to throw it in the dirt, you're going to get booed. And I was like, I'm just trying to throw 90. I don't know where this ball is going to go. I'm going to throw it hard, and it went right in the dirt.
Ryan Schlitter was the catcher. It was a nice sinker.
Well, yeah. Definitely sunk.
Looks like Mott is going to be okay. He's going to take a warm-up toss.
He's landed
awkwardly.
He's a little embarrassed. Just take his time.
He's a former catcher. You can't hurt those former catchers.
2-0 on Aramis. The Cubs try to get that run right back after St. Louis had a single tally in the top of this inning. Kyle led the NBA in three-point field goal percentage last year. Ludwig with a long run. He will now get there, and 2 outs in the inning. What about the adjustment, Kyle, from the college three-point area to the NBA? Was that difficult for you at all, or just back up a step or 2?
Yeah, it wasn't too difficult. It's not so much how far it is. It's when that's your first shot. You got to get used to that, and you got to learn how to use your legs a little bit more. It probably took me a year or so to kind of really get used to it. In the corner, you only got like a foot and a half, and you're out of bounds. So trying getting your feet right. It takes a little bit of time, but it doesn't take too long.
You hit about 9 out of every 10 free throws. I mean, on a typical day, how many free throws, how many three-point shots will you take?
It varies. I don't like to shoot just a set number of shots. It feels like a job. It feels really boring when you do it that way. So I like to shoot until I really find that rhythm. Some days that's 100 shots. Some days that's 1,000 shots. It just kind of depends. You shoot until you feel good, then you take a few more. And free throws. Shoot whenever you're tired. The last thing I always do is shoot 10 in a row. Make 10 in a row. So you shoot a lot of them for sure.
I'd be interested to know, is there a difference between the hoops themselves when you go from arena to arena? Sometimes
no, that was in college. It was college days, different balls, different hoops. But in the NBA they got a kind of a set. I mean, different arenas feel differently a little bit, but the hoops, at least the hoops and the balls are all the same, which is nice.
I imagine when you're in that good rhythm, the hoop seems like a hula hoop.
Those are the good days,
Up the middle and played by Ryan, and he just gets Marlon Bird. Kyle Korver, new Chicago Bull. Congratulations. We look forward to a great year, and keep draining those threes, all right?
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, Kyle.
Good luck to you, Kyle.
Take care. Thank you.
Chicago, the new club located down the third base line, offers high-end catering, a top-shelf bar, indoor and outdoor seating, and other benefits that allow for a truly all-inclusive game day experience. Membership also includes parking for every home game. To reserve your season tickets in the PNC Club of Chicago, call 773-404-4200.
Also mentioned it yesterday, and we wanted to remind you the Ernie Banks Giving Back Summer Cruise, which will leave from Navy Pier 1 week from today, July 31st. It's going to be a great event for a great cause, and you can go to erniebanks.net to purchase tickets. Cubs Care, Rainbows for All Children, and the Chicago Child Care Society will benefit. A wonderful night. So the Cubs got the leadoff man in scoring position, but Jason Mott was able to escape with no damage. And Ludwig greets Andrew Kashner here in the eighth with a base hit, so the tying run will come up yet again. I'll tell you, Bob, the Cardinals have had a lot of chances. The Cubs have done a good job, pitching staff, of keeping them away from big innings. It seems like just about every inning they've had a threat.
Well, even in yesterday's ball game, the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth inning, the Cardinals got the leadoff man on each time and were unable to push a run across.
You know, every team goes through a stretch like this. I mean, we've seen it from the Cubs. A lot of base runners. Not able to get them in with less than 2 outs. And we've seen that from the St. Louis team so far in this series. He went. Call made by Bob Davidson. Good call. Cardinals left him loaded in the sixth. Kashner's 0-1. Fastball, strike 2. Marshall and Marmol are up. Another base hit. Third was playing pretty deep. Wouldn't have caught it either way. And for the second straight inning, they have the first two on.
Good quick swing by Yadier Molina to get on that 97-mile-an-hour fastball and guide it out into center field. And one thing about young Andrew Cashner, he's got great stuff. There's no doubting that. But occasionally his command is not what it should be, either missing the strike zone by a wide margin or making a lot of pitches right down the middle of the plate. And that's something that will come with more experience.
That placement of that base hit, you would hit 1,000 if you hit the ball to that spot every time. And when I see hits like that, I wonder why guys don't hit 500. That's the big part of the field. Brendan Ryan, strike one.
See, if he continues to locate that fastball at the knees on the outside corner, he's not going to give up very many hits. Tough to react that quickly to a 97 or 98 mile an hour fastball. And look at this location, just above the knees on the outside corner. You can't hit that pitch and do anything with it.
A pop-up that's going to get back to the seats. And a barehanded play by a Cub fan wearing an Andre Dawson jersey. That's appropriate. Hall of Fame weekend. Outside, 1-2. Cubs are trying to hold them off. The Cardinals lead on the hit board 11-9, but trail on the big board 6-4. King back up and hit Ryan. The other thing this rally does, Bob, even if the Cardinals do not tie it up here in the 8th, they're almost guaranteed to face Pujols and Holiday in the 9th. How about a double play ball? Oh, it squirts through the legs of Terrio. And Ludwig's going to score. That should have been a double play. And as it is, a one-run game and still nobody out.
Cashner got exactly what he was looking for, a hard ground ball right at Ryan Terrio, who even went down to a knee and still couldn't keep that ball from getting through into shallow right center. Well, that was as tailor-made a double play ball as you could possibly ask for.
We saw it against, it was Houston, right? We had the double play balls that were not turned into double plays, and I think there were 8 or 9 runs scored in that one particular game. Each team with a big error at second base. Randy Wynn's going to hit the pitcher's spot. Still no outs. And a foul pop out of play. Back-to-back singles and an error. And it's a one-run game. Popped out of the mitt. The runners are going to hold. Molina took about 3 steps and thought, you know what? What am I doing here? 0-2 on Wynn.
Now, with nobody out in the inning as a base runner at second, you have to be 100% sure you can make it to third base standing up.
Fly ball, deep left center, playable for Marlon Byrd. Molina tagging, but holding.
Once again, that ball carried a lot further than it looked like it was going to off the bat. Marlon calling for it all the way. Had all his momentum going toward third base. Molina had tagged at second, but he knows better than to try to advance on that one. Good, strong throw by Marlon Byrd right on line to third base.
Now with one out, a double play. And get Cashner out of it with only one run allowed. And remember, you had Molina, the catcher, representing that tying run at second. So a single doesn't necessarily tie it up. Probably, but not 100%.
Well, the real wild card is the Cubs outfielders are playing so deep because of the wind.
How about two this time? Castro, Terrio, Lee. So they get another chance to turn it. They do. Cashner pumped up. They do get one unearned, but that's it. So we'll go to the bottom of the eighth and a tight one. The Cubs maintaining a one-run advantage. Cashner, and he worked around a Ryan Terrio error to limit the Cardinal damage to only one run. Cubs leading 6-5. Fernando Salas will work to Alfonso Soriano. Low, ball one. Top of the order for St. Louis in the ninth against Cubs closer Carlos Marmol. Salas was recalled on Monday for his fourth stint at the big league team.
The Cardinals AAA team is in Memphis, Tennessee, and he has not allowed a run at Memphis since April 30th. Span of 21 ball games, recorded 16 saves over that span.
Scoreless ninth here at Wrigley Field on May 28th in his major league debut. Orsolani's still the pitcher of record for the Cubs. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Third pitcher Soriano has faced, he has struck out against all 3. Soto 0 for 2 with a walk and fouls it away. 41,009 the paid crowd. And again, because of the heavy thunderstorms and flooding in the area, a few got here just a little bit late. But an excellent Saturday afternoon crowd. I'm hoping the Cubs can hang on. And if they do hang on, they will end a streak. They have dropped 10 consecutive series against NL Central teams. After a 3-game sweep in Milwaukee in April, they have not won a series since. Swing and a miss by Soto. Back-to-back Ks for Salas. And so face Ryan Theriot.
Does it make you wonder right now, what is Carlos Marmol thinking down there in the bullpen? I mean, this is not an easy save situation by any stretch of the imagination. Is he going over the Cardinals hitters in his mind, trying to picture as he's warming up the sequence of pitches that he wants to throw to each hitter in the next inning? And just physically trying to get loose and keep his mind as blank as possible and just throw whatever Giovanni Soto calls for? The mysteries of the mind of a closer.
Well, we'll ask him. That's a great question. Is he just telling himself strikes, strikes, those strikes, hit the mitt, one pitch at a time? 2-2 to Theriot.
And obviously in a one-run ball game, it would behoove him to get those first 2 guys before Big Albert made his way to the plate. Aaron Miles with a couple of hits on the ball game today, as has John Jay in the number 2 spot. Pujols has been quiet so far in this series.
Just missed.
That's the same slider on the outside corner. He got Soriano and Soto to chase on the 2-strike count. Theriot lays off. Boy, that was a good illustration of Yadier Molina getting outside that baseball, so when he received it, his glove was working back toward the strike zone, even though the pitch was off the plate.
John Jay is playing about as shallow as you can play in center field with the wind blowing straight out. They are simply not respecting Ryan Theriot's ability to hit the ball for power to center. And that's where Jim Edmonds normally would play, maybe with the wind blowing in. The wind might keep this in play. It will. For Molina, he backpedals and makes the catch. So we will go to the 9th, where the Cubs trying to win a one-run game, something that has been a problem this season. following the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Defensive changes for the Cubs. Tyler Colvin goes from right to left. Soriano is out. Kosuke Fukudome will play right. And hard throwing slider specialist Carlos Marmol face a former teammate Aaron Miles. Here we go. Fastball, strike. They shade Miles in the outfield toward the other way. Thinking we'll have a tough time turning on a fastball from Marmol. 1-1. Miles able to hold up in time. We mentioned the Cubs have had a lot of trouble in the very tight games this season. 12 and 21 in one-run decisions. Three and one. Well, he hit the first one and has missed on 3 straight since. Jay on deck. It's like Soto wants a heater. The pitch, 3-2. Took a little something off it. Called strike 3. Miles thought it was outside.
Good comeback by Marmol after jumping ahead 1 strike in the sequence. Borderline strike. Cubs will definitely take it.
One out. Here's John Jay. Drops a slider in for a strike. Ramirez edge of the grass at third. Inside. Seen his fastball a lot in this inning. Here comes another one. 2-2. Got him to chase. He went. 2 down.
Fastballs that Jay felt like he had to speed up his bat to get to it, and puts him way out in front of a slider in the dirt. Nice job by Gio to keep that ball right there in front. He's able to apply the tag, and it's all down to this at bat.
Sac fly by Pujols his last time up. Still without a hit in the series. He can keyhole now.
And no guarantee he's going to get a fastball on this 2-0 count. We've seen Marmol go to the slider many times. And he does right there. pulls it up there in the middle of the plate, expecting Pujols to be sitting on a fastball. Another slider misses low and away. Now you're back in that same situation at 3-1 as you were 2-0. Do you go back to the slider, or do you challenge with the fastball?
Pujols 5 for 19 with a double and a walk. 21 career plate appearances against Marmol. The 3-1 inside, ball 4. Pujols was not going to give in. Marmol didn't give in.
Well, besides leading the Cardinals in just about every offensive category, Albert Pujols also leads the Cardinals in stolen bases. 11 out of 14 on the season. If you just pay a modicum of attention to him over there, make sure he doesn't get a walking lead, you can keep him from running.
Tying run on base. Lee holding on Pujols. A 1-0 count on Matt Holliday. Called strike. Got the benefit of the doubt of Tim Cheetah. Step off to check on Pujols. Ludwig 4 for 10 with a double versus the Cubs closer. One, two. Pop-up, Terrio makes a catch. Cubs win 6-5. They hang on. They've clinched the series. They have a chance to sweep the first place Cardinals tomorrow. And they're now within 9 in the division. Well, all you can do is take it day by day. And the Cubs now 6-3 on this homestand. Got a little hairy there, Bob, in the 8th inning. But Cashner was able to get out of it. Marmol gets the save. Tom Gorzolani's won 4 straight.
Yeah, a solid all-around game today. A couple of defensive adventures out there for the Cubs, but all's well that ends well. Working their way right through the middle of the Cardinals' order to nail this one down.
Let's send it down to the field. Gail Fisher standing by with Marlon Brewster.